All right. Hello, juniors. Thanks for having us, class of 2022. The counseling staff, we're here today to talk about the course request process and what that's going to look like as far as choosing classes for your senior year next year. Before we do that, though, let's really quickly do some introductions just in case you don't recognize some of these faces or you don't know who we are. So I will start. My name is Mr. Wilson. I am the counselor for all of our Alpha Scholar students and those students whose last names begin with an A through a C.
Hi everybody, I'm Mr. Bear. I'll be assisting students with the last names starting with D through K and any students with special needs.
Hi everyone, my name is Ms. Barojas and my caseload includes students that are in the AVID program as well as students with the last names L and N.
Hi guys, my name is Ms. Guardado. If your last name starts with the letters M, O, or Z, I will be your counselor. And then if you're a part of the EL program, I'll be assisting you as well.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Hampton and I have the letters P through Y.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Morton and I am the PBIS counselor.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Mitchell and I work in the Wellness Center.
Perfect. All right.
So before we jump into talking about choosing classes for next year, I want to go over how you guys can look into knowing if you're on track for graduation because that's going to be really important this year. So using your transcript is going to be the best way to figure out where you're at, and you can actually access it via Student View. So if you log into your Student View account, on the left-hand side, if you click Course History, it'll pull up this graduation status page, and then it says Unofficial Transcript there at the top. If you click that, it will generate a transcript that can help you see where you're at credit-wise. So this is a transcript. If you don't know, if you haven't seen it before, it'll basically break down each year that you're here at Carter, what classes you've taken, your grades, and how many credits you have. The graduation requirements credit summary box is going to be really important, and we'll kind of go into detail on the next slide. And then you can also find your counselor's name here. So if for some reason you don't know who your counselor is, this is where you can find that information. So if you've never failed anything, you should have 150 credits. You're on track for graduation if you have at least 130 credits. So this is that credit summary box that I was talking about, just zoomed in. And basically it goes over each subject area, the credits that are required, the credits that you have completed in that area, and then the credits needed. So in that middle column, completed, it'll show you how many credits you have. Again, you're on track if you have at least 130. And then that last one that says needed will show the credits that you need to complete senior year in order to graduate with your class with 220 credits.
Am I on track for college? So at this point, you should be familiar with the terms A through G. A through G means that you have completed the requirements not only for graduation, but to be CSU and UC eligible in order to go to a four-year college. That means you have passed your history, your English, your math, your laboratory sciences, your 2 years of your foreign language, your 1 year of your visual performing arts, and a college prep elective with a grade C or better. If by any chance you have received a D at this point or even an F in one of these courses, please have a conversation with your counselor about retaking that course. Remember, to be A through G eligible, you must pass these subject requirements with a C or better.
All right, so how do I know what classes I should be requesting for next year? Okay, so first things first, you should have a 4-year plan. Okay, so that 4-year plan document that you started as a 9th grader looks like this, if you remember. So it's a Google sheet that should be in your Google Drive. You should be updating that at least once a year to go in there and make sure you know what your plan looks like. So as a junior, you should be looking in your Google Drive, pulling it up, making sure that your 11th grade classes actually match what you're in right now, because we know that things change. Like sometimes you might plan on something, but then you might change your mind about what class you want to do. So update that 4-year plan to make sure that everything is set right, and then make sure that your senior year looks the way you want it to. So use this planning document. And remember, guys, this is a planning document for you and for you and your counselor to talk about, but we don't enter course requests based upon this this document. You're still going to have to request those classes, but this is the way for you to make sure that you understand all of the sequences and what you need for graduation and A to G, and make sure that you've got the classes in your senior year that you need and that you want to take. So you'll notice, guys, senior year schedule is there's a lot of options next year, which is kind of exciting, but you're going to have an English class. You'll be taking math, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit, and then you're going to have a social studies class. So you've got those 3 classes, which means that you're going to have room in your room in your schedule for 3 different electives, which is exciting. There's a lot of different options that you can take. So again, guys, update that 4-year plan. If for whatever reason you can't find it, or you never did it, or you know, just you don't know where it is in your drive, we made a makeup Google Classroom where you can get in and start a new 4-year plan and put it together. So if you need to get to that, the code is down here at the bottom, 6TQQNN4. So I'll leave that on the screen here for a couple more seconds. But if you don't have a 4-year plan, can't find it, you can always jump into this Google Classroom and start a new one. So that way you've got a way to do your plan. Okay. So I'll leave that up there for a couple more seconds. Once you have your 4-year plan, now you're ready to access our online course catalog on the Carter website to help you make your choices. So we're going to show you how to navigate this. Let me go ahead and jump out of this presentation, and we're going to jump into our web browser here. So if you haven't spent any time on the Carter High School website, it's time to. And if you Google Carter High School, we're the first thing that comes up. There we are, Carter High School. So on the home page, you've got all these different drop-down options. If you go to students, you are looking for the course catalog. So it's right there. When you click on that, it opens up our online course catalog. Every single class that we offer at Carter High School is on this website. And just to kind of help you with the navigation of this really quickly, you'll notice that all the pages here to the left are broken down by subject area. So when you click on those different subject areas, it's going to tell you all the different class options that you have at each grade level for those. And then on the home page, we have 3 different things. So number 1, your graduation requirements, in case you need to access those and see what's going on. Your A through G requirements that Ms. Mitchell just talked about, as far as what you need for being eligible for a Cal State or a UC. And your academic planner. And the academic planner is going to be really helpful. It goes subject by subject, and it tells you what your options are for 12th grade, which is what you're going to be in next year, okay? So let's go ahead and start with your social study options for next year. I'm going to kick it over to Ms. Hampton.
Hi, I cannot believe it. You guys are going to be seniors, and your choices are going to be government economics. Both are semester classes. You will either have government first or economics first, and vice versa. And you also have the choice of AP government, which will be more government than economics. You'll also get credit for government and economics with that class. And AP macro, which is more economics than government. And again, you'll get credit for government and economics. Let's listen to Ms. Morton talk about English before we show you our little blurbs.
Thank you, Ms. Hampton. For English, as a 12th grader, you have 2 options to choose from. The first one is ERWC, which is our regular English 12 class. And then we also have the choice of AP English Literature. So both of those classes will meet the A through G requirement. So again, ERWC regular English 12, and we have AP English Literature.
Okay, so when we move on to math, it's not as clean looking as English was, but I'm going to break it down, so please bear with me. Once you reach senior year, you should have taken math in sequence order, right? So you start off with math 1, move on to math 2, and math 3. So by the time you're a 12th grader, you'll have different options depending on the sequence that you've taken. So if you're currently in math 2, you'll want to move on to math 3 for next year. If you're currently in math 3, you can move on to math 4 or even intro to college mathematics. If you're currently in math 3 honors, you'll be able to move on to math 4 honors. We also offer a class over summer if you're willing to jump from math 3 honors and you're wanting to go to AP calculus. That is something to consider. For math 4, you'll have different options as well. So you'll be able to move on to our AP options. You can request MRWC, but placement into that class is going to depend on your CASP score. So please make sure that you're taking that test seriously when the time comes. So when you click on the specific courses, you'll be able to pull up class descriptions so you can get a better idea of what you can expect in each specific math class. One more important point that I wanted to make is that since you're a Carter High School student, our expectation is that all of our seniors will be enrolled in a 4th-year math class. Okay, so just putting it out there so you're well aware of it and you can make an informed decision when it comes time to picking that 4th year of math.
Perfect. Thank you, Ms. Baroja. So just to kind of recap, those are the 3 core classes that every senior is going to have, is history, English, and math. Okay, after that, it's all choices, and we have a lot of choices, which is what makes the senior year so exciting. If you are wanting to continue in science, by the time you've completed 11th grade, you will have completed hopefully your 30 credits that you need for graduation and your 3-year science pathway. But if you want to take another science class because you're planning on doing something sciencey in college, we have animal anatomy, which is a regular science class where you're learning about animals. And then we have many different AP options. You can learn about all these, again, by clicking on them or going to science on the left, and you can read up on all the different options there. We have, and I know that you guys are juniors and you already know how many electives we have, but we have a lot in foreign language. So if you're wanting to keep pushing yourself in foreign language and maybe move on to that 4th year of foreign language or an AP class, we would encourage you to do that and push yourself there. Visual and performing arts, we have a lot of different stuff. So lots of visual, lots of music, lots of theater. Again, you can click on all of these and they take you to the page. And a lot of the teachers have, if you haven't noticed, they put up videos. So if you want to know more about the actual class, you can watch the video and see what's going on there. And lastly, for our electives, we have CTE pathways, ROTC, many other electives that you guys should check out. A quick note about if you, as a senior, if you are wanting to be a teacher's aide, a TA, office clerk, or if you want to take period 1 or period 6 off, these are all options that you can do. You're only allowed to do one of them. You can't be a TA and take a period off. But if you decided as a senior that you only wanted 5 classes and that's all you need for graduation, you are absolutely able to do that as a senior, but you must be A through G eligible. So this is a privilege that we afford our students that are on track for A to G. Otherwise, your counselor is going to be doing everything we can to make you A to G, and you're not going to have room in your schedule for this, okay? Before we move on, let's have Mr. Bayer talk about PE real quick.
Okay, guys, so lastly here, PE. We're hoping by this time you guys have finished your PE requirement, either by taking PE, ROTC, marching band, or been involved in a sport. At this point, if you have been involved in a sport, please make sure that you take a look at the red note that we have here for you. And secondly, that you have also attempted to turn your waivers in. So you need to be communicating with your counselors to ensure that if you were involved in a sport, that you are receiving the credit for that via the waiver. Lastly, if you have failed PE at any point up to this point, you need to ensure that you let your counselors know so that we can get you enrolled in that, because again, remember, you do need 2 years of PE to be able to graduate.
Right, and we were just having this conversation before we started this presentation, but we have a lot of juniors now that still need that 2nd year of PE, so please make sure your counselor knows what your plan is. If you play the sport during your sophomore year, you really need to tell us so that we can get that waived for you. But do not try and waive a sport that you did during your freshman year. You cannot waive freshman sports because you're already in PE at that point, okay? So we know that's complicated, but guys, take a look at your transcript and make sure you're communicating with your counselor what your plan is, okay? So you have a lot of different choices to make here, guys. Before we go back to the presentation, if you have any questions for your counselor, hopefully you know that you can be in contact with us. If you go to the school website again, under students, you can go to the counseling office. All of us are here and all of our email addresses are here. So guys, if you have questions along the way as far as the process goes, please email your counselor, ask us what's going on so that we can help you with that and answer your questions, okay? Let's go back to our presentation. And Ms. Mitchell is going to talk about AP classes.
So did you sign up for an AP class, maybe in history or maybe in one of the arts, you know you must attend the AP Summit. That's where you'll find out about the rigor. You will find out about any assignments. You will find out how to be successful in the AP classes. So the online AP Summit this year will be from April 1st to May 1st. The assignment must be done by May 1st. More information is to come, but again, make sure that you get in contact with your counselor if you signed up for an AP class so that you can be enrolled for the online AP Summit.
Okay, when will I actually request classes for next year? I am so glad you asked that question. The answer is the counselors will be visiting your English class on February 25th and 26th. We will arrive at your classes and you can complete your Google form. Now, in the meantime, please know what 6 classes you plan to ask for and write down any questions you may have for your counselor before we arrive at your class. We are looking forward to seeing you in your classes February 25th and 26th. See you then.
Yep, and as Ms. Hampton said, guys, that's in just a couple days, so you absolutely have some work to do. So check out that 4-year plan, spend some time on our online course catalog, and we'll see you in a couple days to get you signed up for your classes. We thank you for your time, guys. Looking forward to seeing you.